Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, just because you trust yourself, and just because you trust the universe, and just because you're doing all the work and everything's aligned, does not guarantee you safe passage. I know. That's the part that is the reality of being human. No matter what we do, we're never going to avoid being hurt physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's still going to happen. The spiritual journey is about knowing how to bounce back. That's simple. When you understand that every situation that happens is not predominantly your fault or concern, it is much easier to walk through life and understand what you are creating and what you are calling in by way of how you trust yourself and how you trust your spiritual voice. Everyone has some voice in them. I don't care what the internet says. I don't care how it says it. Even if the voice is not loud, if it's just a whisper, or if it's only at the guttural, and you can feel it, but you don't have words for it yet because it's muffled. That voice needs to know how to trust its own journey, while the physical human being has to know how to navigate this journey and trust it as it keeps learning, because the world keeps evolving. The world is always changing. No matter what you're shown or what you read or see on TV, there is way more to this earth than we as a human species have ever seen or have been in contact with. It's just, the point is if we're still saying we're just now discovering, come on, stop it, cut it out. We already know that we are spiritual beings incarnated in a physical avatar, whatever you want to call it, human spaceship, right? I know that in order to be a good human, I have to just take care of myself. That's it. I don't have to impress anyone else. I don't have to dress how people want me to dress. I don't have to talk how people want me to talk. I just have to physically take care of myself. Brush my teeth, eat good foods, be physically active just to keep my body functioning enough that it can hold itself up. Whatever body shape you choose is your choice. As long as you are flexible enough to move your body, you're being a good human. Go get your checkups. If something's wrong, follow up, ask questions. Don't give all of your autonomy away to any type of entity just because it has a stamp or label or degree. Trust your body. Know your body. You've with it its whole life. At this point, you should know what it likes and what it doesn't like. That's being a good human. Being a good soul is simply understanding you're going to experience an array of emotions that are going to trigger so many different memories, thoughts, fantasies, and whatever you want them to be. You have to remember to not get sucked into individual ones. It is okay to go back and play in them. It is okay to go back and visit them. But when you get trapped, you're trapped. And you got to start all over and send out smoke signals to the next avatar so that they can pick up on what you need to complete. And then they got to go back and navigate through those emotions. If you choose to work through them before they get there and do your shadow work, then by the time the human avatar experiences these emotions, they won't trigger them because they don't care. But if the soul is triggered, now the human has to care, and now the human is triggered, which causes anxiety and stress and depression because we don't know what's going on and where it's coming from. To be a good soul, you have to own what you've been through. Own what you've done. And let it be that. It is that simple. I know it seems like a lot, but as the soul, you have nothing to lose except the consciousness of where you left off at the last checkpoint. Because again, it's like a video game that goes on and on and on, and you don't know where the checkpoints are, but there are checkpoints and you get rewards and stuff along the way. But it's one of those continuous games you just play like a racing game. That's all life is. You get as far as you can get so that the next soul's avatar ain't got to work so hard. And hopefully they understand that you put in enough work that they can then continue putting forth the good work that aligns to source and spirit. This is putting trust into the path. You have free will to intertwine within this world. You don't have to. But when spirituality comes a knocking and things start falling apart, sometimes you don't have a choice and you're just thrusted in. So it's a learning of trust. That's where that begins. Now, when you say source, where is this source? Who is this source? I don't have the answer to that. But what I can tell you for me is my source energy is always going to guide me in the path that aligns with my peace. Because I've always said, no matter what, peace is the most important thing to me. So my source energy, I call it joy because that's how I feel when I think about it. That's what makes me feel good to wake up during the day and everything else. Like when people define what they love, they don't define who they are. I love joy. Joy is my favorite emotion because I understand that it's not superficial joy. I am grateful for my understanding of life and self. That's the joy that I love and experience on a constant daily basis. And then I choose to integrate that into my soul's journey, which allows my soul to give forgiveness to old past lives and thinking and ways of ancestors that were given to us or replicated for us. And we say, that's not me. That's not who I am. I don't even care. I forgive. And you understand that one moment can forgive so many generations for caring about the stupidest stuff. Look at it. Y'all see it. Our ancestors cared about some really dumb things. They made some really smart moves, but they cared about some really dumb things. And it held everyone back emotionally. And now you're able to let that go. And when you can let that go, that's what heals the avatar to say, okay, I trust now my voices. I trust now my gut intuition. I trust my body's antenna, right? Because that's what it's all about. When we're saying align and ascend, just make sure that your antenna is strong enough and solid enough so that when it receives a message, it doesn't distort it into something that's not meant for it. You're just meant to be a receiver to give back. That's it. How you give back is your choice, but you're going to see people who choose to give back in a negative, distorted way. That's their choice. Let them. It is a game. Do not worry about what they're doing because they're playing a totally different game and they sign their soul over to a totally different source. And that source will deal with them accordingly. You're looking through a looking glass, honey. If you're on the side of light, remain on the side of light. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a long path and journey, but it's about trust. Trust your intuition, trust your gut, trust your body, trust yourself, and it will be a much easier path. I promise you. All right? So again, things are going to happen. Don't blame the universe. Just reassess, reassign, understand what you're doing, but reassign yourself new rules of what you want to do in this world so that you don't keep ending up in places you don't like. But you do have to choose how to trust the path because it's always going to happen to you regardless. All right. I love you.